YouTube. Everyone, we are going to be live on YouTube. So please turn on your cameras. Yes. Just give me a moment. Okay, guys, everyone, all the warriors, guys, how are you all doing today morning? Yes, type it in the chat box. How are you all doing today morning? Let's begin our amazing week with this powerful session. Yes, welcome everyone. I welcome all my warriors to this amazing session and all the students who are watching us live on YouTube. So guys, today's session is gonna be about the new scheme and the new syllabus, new course which ICAI has come up with. Okay, and how many of you were waiting for this session? I know so many of you had so many questions about it. Everyone, can you please turn on your cameras? How many of you are waiting for the session? Please raise your hand. Yes. And how many of you are excited to finally get answers to all the queries which you have been holding with you? Kya hoga, kaise hoga, everything. Come on, keep both of your hands up and give me a high five. 1, 2, 3, boom. Yes. Good morning. Good morning. Now, let me welcome Ravindra Kumar Oja, and to introduce him. So guys, he's the founder and YouTuber at Wisdom CA channel, which is one of the very renowned channel for CA students with more than 150,000 followers. And he's also CA Inter Law educator, and he has also been an educator at Unacademy. And so guys, can you all please give him a big round of applause for being with us today morning and helping us navigate through the ICAI new syllabus and scheme. Yes, please give him a big round of applause. Can you all please type welcome in the chat box? Yes. So Ravindra, a very warm welcome to all of you. I welcome you on the behalf of all the EPS community members who are present over here and all the viewers who are watching us live on YouTube. Yes.
Thank you so much.
Amazing. So before we get started, guys, I see many of you are not turning on your cameras. Can you please take a quick moment to turn on your cameras, right? Remember, how you do anything is how you do everything. Show up live. All right. So, Ravindra, if you can take us through the new syllabus and what changes has been made, what do you think? What is your opinion? Why ICAI came up with a new scheme? So if you can just simply brief us about the new scheme. And then guys, after this, we'll also open up the chat box for you all to ask all your questions. So please listen to what Ravindra has to talk about, take a note of things, and after that, we'll also have a quick Q&A session with him. All yours, Ravindra.
Thank you so much, Ayushi, and thank you so much, guys, for watching me, and thank you, Ayushi, for inviting me on this session. First of all, good morning to everybody, and a very energetic good morning to you all. First of all, so guys, we are just going to talk about new syllabus. New syllabus is, I think, very we can say it is a very amazing syllabus is going to be, and some very important points and some very important topics which I'm going to share with you in this session. So just listen me carefully, and I hope this session can be very grateful to you all. And if you listen this session carefully, you will get to know why this new syllabus is being introduced by ICAI. So first of all, there were some flaws in the old syllabus, and ICAI has tried rectifying this in the new syllabus. The first, the most and the most difficult thing with ICAI was checking your papers. We have seen in previous days that there are a lot of protests on 39.4 and a lot of things which was going on. So some teachers decided to make a committee, and there is a group of teachers, like approximately nearly 40 teachers were there, including me, like Praveen Sharma sir, Neeraj Arora sir, Kapil Goyal sir, and then Nagendra Shah sir. So nearly approximately total 40 teachers were there from all over the India, and we met in Lakshminagar, in Prithvihar in Eldine Center. We had a discussion, and we made a committee. The committee name was CAFA. I hope you might have known if you are following any of the teachers among all. So we made a committee naming CAFA, and then we were just proceeding it, and the committee was doing like very good. So after coming to the new syllabus, we are hoping from ICAI that ICAI could do much better thing, and ICAI should, like, the things which were happening previously, it should not repeat. So what the demands from the teacher side was checking papers correctly. Like, we have seen a lot of mistakes from the ICAI, and we have seen that there is a paper checking in metro train and in rail, or somebody has taken the papers and somebody has given that papers to their article, and that article is checking the paper. So there were some difficulties with the paper checking, which was flowing on the social media. So in this new syllabus, ICAI has tried to reduce it. It cannot be completely gone off, because it is the papers check-in is done by human. So there is always a human mentality involved in that. For an example, if the question is for 10 marks, so as an examiner, I can give you 9 marks. As an examiner, I can give you 8 marks. But in my same place, if any other examiner would be, then he can give you 7 marks or 6 marks. So there are some difference, which is a psychological difference. So we cannot remove it, we cannot avoid it, because the papers are checked by human. So ICAI tried to reduce it, and for the same, ICAI has introduced MCQs in every papers, even in foundation, even in inter or in finals. They have reduced it, and they have made it 30% MCQs in each papers. So even in foundation you have MCQs. Okay, in foundation you have 2 papers MCQs, and the rest 2 papers are descriptive. But in CA inter and CA finals, because the mainly concern was with CA inter and CA finals, so ICAI has reduced it, and ICAI has made it like 30% MCQs in each papers. So you have the weightage. Like accounts, ICAI will give you 30% MCQ. In law, ICAI will give you 30% law. Then in costing, ICAI also will give you 30% MCQ in costing. So ICAI has reduced it, the manual check-in. So it will increase the productivity, first of all, the productivity of examiner, because they have to check only 70 marks. And second, the human error, which was happening earlier. So ICAI has first tried to reduce it in CA inter and CA finals. And earlier it was happening that ICAI will give you some negative marks in MCQs, but ICAI has not given any negative mark. Means you have to just go and check it out. Like 30 MCQs, you have to just tick 30 MCQs. Even if you make it any wrong, you are not going to charge any extra minus marking. Like in foundation, if you make 4 questions correct, 1 question correct and make 4 questions wrong, then the total marks will be 0. Okay, but there is nothing like this in new syllabus in inter and finals. Yeah, foundation there is negative marking, but not in inter and final. So first, very positive thing is done by ICAI. This. The second thing is that ICAI is trying to make foundation level tough, and rest inter and finals, ICAI is trying to make it a bit harder. Bit easier. The reason is that when you enter in foundation, means you have a skill, you have the capacity that you can go till final and you can clear exams, because that is foundation. And if you clear that foundation exam, then obviously you can complete final exams, because that is your mental level at that point of time. So what was happening? Because of some restrictions, or because of some negative thoughts, or because of some maybe any issues, attempts to attempts. So ICAI has tried to reduce this thing, and ICAI has made some limitations in the attempt. Like if in foundation, so you have some limited attempts, like 3 or 4 years ICAI has given that only till 3 or 4 years you can give CA foundation. After that, you can attempt any foundation exams. In CA inter is I think 4 or 5 years. If you enroll in CA inter, so yeah, 4 years of enrollment is validated. So after that, one time you can revalidate it. Means there is a number of limited attempts. You have number of limited attempts in intermediate exams. In final also, you have limited attempts. So what is the benefit of this? Benefit of this, you might have aware that when you were in class 11th or class 12th, So you have a psychological pressure that my exams is going to be, and I have to read a lot. I have to study a lot. So you know that I don't want to fail. You try your best. But the same thing doesn't happen in CA course. You know that after 6 months, there is an attempt. So if you think that if I'm not able to clear in this attempt, no issue. I'll just prepare better well, and then I clear in next exams. So, this is like postponing your success, postponing your success. So ICAI just try to reduce it and make it very clear that you have to work hard if you want to be in CA course. You cannot postpone your success very long time. So ICAI says try to reduce it, and CA inter exams, they have given only one time revalidation, and CA finals, they have given, I think 2 or 3 times revalidations in CA final exams. Okay, so some final exams, they have given some more attempts, but in CA inter, they have very limited attempts. Okay, so second thing, ICAI has done this. And to make the course simple, ICAI has reduced the syllabus. So earlier it was like 8 papers in CA inter, both group, and CA finals, there are 8 papers. But now in the new syllabus, you have only 6 papers, and ICAI try to reduce it. Like you had accounts, and in group 2, you had advanced account. But there is only one advanced account, that is in group 1 in CA inter. Okay, new syllabus. The same like ICAI has tried to reduce law syllabus as well. Like ICAI has given some extra chapters in CA inter law, but ICAI has reduced some chapters from CA inter syllabus, and they have done it to the in CA foundation. CA final, there is no any paper of law. There is self-paced module, self-paced online module. So what is exactly this module is? The self-paced online module is like you have to read it yourself. ICAI will give you some number of hours that you have to complete on the ICAI website, and the numbers of hours will be counted. You will get your books of self-paced module. In law, so see, there are total D sections, D sets, set A, set B, set C, and set D. Total D sets in self-paced module. Set A and set B, all the papers you have to attempt in set A and set B. But in set C and set D, you have some options to choose any one of them. So you have some bifurcations also in choosing the subjects. Like if somebody is going to want to be some, like, somebody want to study constitution. So there is a set D, there is a law of constitution. If you want to choose that paper, then you can choose that paper. If somebody is very interested in stock market, then there is a chapters for this also. So you have the bifurcations in that. You have a number of choice. In self-paced module, you can choose it. Like the same the ICAI has done in paper number 6 in old syllabus. In CA final, paper number 6, there are total 8 papers. And in paper number 6, you have to choose only one of them, and you would just apply for the examination. So the same thing ICAI has done in this in self-paced module, and they have just tried to bifurcate syllabus. So set A and set B is mandatory. All the papers might like the papers in set A and set B, you have to attempt. And in set D and set C and set D, you have some options to choose any of them. So there are total 4 sets: set A, set B, set C, and set D. And the module is online. Like ICAI has not given very clear informations, but I think that the module is online. Like you don't have to go in the centers, as I think so. Okay, but if the ICAI will try to call the students in a center, then there will be obviously multiple choice questions in that. So these kind of things ICAI is planning in this set. And the most important and most beneficial thing is that your marks in these self-paced module won't be counted in CA final aggregate marks. The CA final aggregate is out of 600, and self-paced module will not be counted in that. Means you just have to pass this self-paced module. So ICAI has done some better things in this paper, and they have done some bifurcations. Like ICAI followed some international standard, like the examinations like CPA. Okay, in CPA you must have seen, like Ayushi has done some modules of CPA as well, as I know. So the CPA exam is totally online. You have to just register in CPA course, and you have to just apply for examination. You can just sit at the home, and you can just give examination online, as I think so. Ayushi, correct? So in this, ICAI has done nearly the same things. Like ICAI is given 30% MCQs in all the papers. So you have number of MCQs and you have some ease of selections in a self-paced module. So in that also you will get MCQs in that. So these are some very important things, and I think that some very good things which ICAI has done, and I think these things are very important. Yeah, if anybody want to ask any questions, like the most thing which I have covered in this session. So these are the most important things, and these are some bifurcations which ICAI has done. So these are the things which ICAI has done, and like if anybody have some questions regarding this, like any questions for new syllabus, then you can definitely write in the chat box, or you can just ask me directly on the session.
Okay, okay. So guys, first of all, how many of you are finding this session insightful? Isn't it insightful? Like, we just know what ICAI is doing, okay, what is the new syllabus, what is known syllabus. But thanks to Ravindra, we also get to understand the thought process. Why is it happening? And it's so good. Like, okay, the foundation level, they're trying to make it tougher so that we can limit the student who gets stuck going further, and easing on final and inter level so that they can clear their exams, and also limiting the number of attempts and years so that they don't end up wasting their entire life and career just trying to give the exam. And most importantly, the student get over the tendency of skipping the attempts. Like, I mean, like, wow, I did not know about this kind of thought process. So thank you so much, Ravindra. I personally am finding it very interesting and insightful. What is the need of all these changes? Especially why, like, even when I was preparing for when I appeared, there were no MCQs. So one of the reasons I envy you guys, like, okay, you guys are having MCQs at all the level, which gives you good enough opportunity to get some and to score really well in exams. So wow. And I today know, okay, why is it MCQ happening? Because of the checking issues and all that problem. Fantastic, fantastic. So yes, let's open the forum for everyone to ask their questions and queries. Okay, so I'll start taking questions and queries. Some of you, those of you have question, can you please type it in the chat box?
Okay, there is one question which I found very interesting. Salman Khan, okay, Salam Khan. There is a question, sir. What is your take on US CPA? Is it out of the topic? But if possible, can tell me the few words. Yeah, definitely. See, after doing CPA, you will be eligible to go out of the country, and there is a lot of good things which, if anybody is doing CPA, then you can open multiple doors in going many countries. So for going CPA, you have after completing CA, when you complete CA and you want to go for the US CPA, so you have some modules which you have to clear, and there is a duration of 6 months. Okay, so there is only one thing, that you have only 6 months to clear CPA after completion of CA course. After 6 months, you can complete CPA, and then you can definitely go in other countries like US, Australia. You can open your door in many countries. More than, I think, there is a 90 countries which you can go, and you can do your practice, or you can get the jobs. So obviously, you have like very insightful. If you do CPA after doing CA, you will be getting many opportunities in abroad.
Wow.
Okay, Amar, there is a question from Amar. You can please talk about multidisciplinary cases studies paper in CA and new syllabus. See, there is no any multidisciplinary cases studies questions. There is one paper of multidisciplinary cases studies. So as if now there is no any papers or there is no any attempt. So we are also a bit confused about something like something. The papers which is multidisciplinary. Let me show you some prospectus of ICAI. I'll just open my this booklet and ICAI booklet, and then I'll show you some syllabus. And okay, Ayushi, I want to share my screen. So can you please allow me?
Yeah, definitely. I'm gonna make you co-host.
Sure, thank you. Okay, I'll just share my screen, and yeah, I think my screen is visible now. Okay, So as I think that you might have aware about this ICAI website. When you open ICAI website, there is a new scheme, education and training. You can just click over there and you will find all the things at one place about ICAI, about the new scheme. So there is a prospectus. I'll just open this prospectus, and there are a lot of things which is in prospectus. I'll just open in the new tab, and I'll give you some more things about this new scheme. See, there is a complete thing like how can you complete your say exams and what things are there. You can how can you can do it. Say everything is written in this. In the papers, like you can see here, there is a selfies module. Set A, set B, set C, and after that set D. There are total 4 sets. And in sets, set C is elective paper. First paper is risk management, sustainable development, public finance, insolvency, like IBC, if you want to go for IBC or international taxation. So you have, some bifurcations. Whatever you want, you can just choose in this and you can go further. After that, you have final, this.
Right?
Yeah.
CA final.
If anybody want to go for the constitution, there is a Constitution of India, then psychology and philosophy. If why these papers are important, why these things are important, why these papers are important. So first of all, if anybody want to do some practice in legal field, like we have somebody, you might have seen that somebody is doing CA and LLB both. Okay, somebody is doing CA, CS both. So if that person will read this Constitution of India, most of the CA, they appear in court as well. So you must have the knowledge of this in the Constitution of India. You must have knowledge of this. So ICAI has just given some papers and you have to just pass these papers. Then psychology and philosophy. What this paper is about. Suppose you have client in front of you. You have a client in front of you. You are not aware about the human psychology, how human react. So you will, I think that you will miss your lead. Okay, if you speak, which is not, we have the psychology of human psychology. We have that what we try to listen, what we like, that only we try to listen. Okay, what we like, that will only we try to listen. Example, if you see the things are very clearly shown in the YouTube, okay, on social media. Like if anybody is making some memes or some comedy things, so everybody like it. And the views are very good, like they get millions of views. But the same, if there is some things like educational thing, the views are very less, 2,000, 3,000, 100, 20. So these are the views because of people, very rare people, they like it. So what we like it, what we like, we only just what we like, we only just like to listen it or like to see it. So what exactly the psychology of human? Suppose there is a client in front of you and you said anything which your client don't like. There is a dispute and you might miss your client. This is very important.
So basically, Ravi, the point of this module is to understand the psychology and to enable chartered accountants appear in front of court and have a good standing over there. So they can choose. They're going for subjects like if they're also pursuing CS, LLB, then they can go for Set D. And if they are interested in this kind of subjects, then they can go for Set C. So Set C and D.
These papers are very important and these papers are very helpful to crack an interview. You will first understand what is psychology of your examiner or your interviewer, and you will react according to that. So these people are very, very good. Then entrepreneurship and startup ecosystem. That this era is entrepreneurship and startup system. So definitely ICAI is, ICAI is nowadays, ICAI is doing very much startups. Like I have seen some post of ICAI previous days that the founder of board, Aman, he came to ICAI any webinar and he was doing some sessions in that. So ICAI is trying to bring so many founders of startups and they are trying to, give some value to their students. So these papers obviously was very nice. Digital ecosystem and controls. Digital ecosystem means what exactly is ecosystem and controls? You might have seen in audit papers. In audit papers, when you clear C exams, okay, after that also you can do some after CA, after this CA course, there's a lot of papers. So if you want to go in audit, if you want to go in audit, then is the paper forensic audit, forensic accounting, forensic audit. These things are very, next level after C exams. So if you want to do these papers, like if you want to do some next level of audit, like any software audit, if you're not aware about this digital ecosystem or not aware about the softwares, how can you do the audit? So obviously this was very important measures which ICAI has taken. These papers were covered somewhere by ICAI in previous days, but these papers ICAI has done some tremendous good work, as I think so. Okay, yeah, Aishu, please.
So I see there's completely new topics and aspect ICAI has added, like, to encourage entrepreneurship, to enable CAs, to get accustomed to the new changes and the digital ecosystem. So wow, that's great. So if we can take the next question, if we can. So Salam, he has a question, sir. We don't have any other than converting to new syllabus after November 23 attempt. But is it really beneficial for me as a student? How about doing CPA without CA? So I think, Salam, it's a different question, like doing CPA along.
Okay, I'll take this question. So we have taken the question of CPA, and then, sir, can you give some information on CA direct route in new course? The same thing is there. What you were doing earlier. Let me give you some insight of CA direct entry. Let me find any blank page in this. Okay, I'll just explain you on this. See, now we will talk about direct entry. So in direct entry, what you have to do now? Earlier, what was happening? If you have done your BCom or MCom or any commerce graduate or postgraduate, 55% or more, this was your eligibility to go in to take admission in CA direct entry. Or the second thing was that, like, you have done CA inter, there was C, like this was a CA direct entry, and the other things, some were other also things like if you have done like I think direct entry route were there when you complete CS executive or some CMA executive, then also you were able to come in CA direct entry. So there are some limitations, like you can directly come in direct entry and then you can appear in CA exams. So whether you are commerce graduate or if you're not commerce graduate, then it was 60%, graduate or postgraduate. So earlier what was happening, when you do in direct entry, when you come in direct entry, you had to just start your articleship, ICAI TSS. Okay. There are 1 month of trainings, and then you can start your articleship. It was 9 months of training, and then you have to find your CA entry exams. Okay, CA entry exams. Then you can do remaining your articleship trainings, and then you can appear in CA finals. Now ICAI has done some modification in this. The eligibility is same. There is no any change in eligibility. Eligibility is same. What they have done, they have removed articleship. Means when you come in CA direct entry, then after coming to CA direct entry, you can just prepare for exams, and you have to compulsorily complete your both groups. Means CA Inter Group 1 and CA Inter Group 2. Both the groups you have to complete, then you can start your articleship. So this is the criteria which ICAI has done now in direct entry route. Okay. Rest things are as earlier, which was earlier now. I think this point is clear. CA direct entry. Okay. Now there is one more question. Sir, we don't have any other than converting to new syllabus after November 2023 attempt, but it is really beneficial for me. What about doing CPA without CA? Okay, see, if you are interested to go outside, out of the country, then CPA you can do. Otherwise, in India, if you do CA, then obviously you have good opportunities in India. But if you want to go out of the country, then you can do CPA. Okay, then next question from Kirti. Sir, please talk about the exemptions from old syllabus, how they will be impact the new syllabus papers. Okay. As if now ICAI has not given any clarity about the exemptions, which paper exempted will be in which. Okay, but there is things which I want to share. There is a change in exemption. There is change in exemption. Earlier in exemption, what was happening? When you have an exemption means if you have 60 or more, 60 or more in any one of paper and you fail in that group. For an example, if any student is in CA Enter, he is appearing for group 1, only group 1. He must have appeared in all the papers of group 1. First condition, all the papers, he must have appeared in all the papers of group 1. Then he must have failed in that group, means he is appearing group 1, then he should be failed. And any of the paper, if he is securing 60 or more, then these paper will be exempted for next 3 attempts, next 3 consecutive attempts. Means, example, November 18. So if any student is securing November 18 any paper exempted. So in May 2019, this paper will be exempt. November 2019 paper exempted. Then next May 2020, this paper will be exempt. Means just 3 consecutive attempts, just coming attempt. After that, this paper will not be exempted, means he have to appear in that attempt also. But now ICAI has changed. ICAI has made some modification. ICAI has given here also you have chance. Okay, there is an option in exemption. What exactly the options in this? Rules are the same. Okay, in exemption, rules are the same. And if you get exemption in any of the papers, then the paper, you don't have to appear in the paper next 3 consecutive attempts. You don't have to appear in the paper. But after 3 attempts also, if you want to carry on this exemption, then you have the choice. For an example, in new syllabus coming from May 24, if any student secure exemption in law, okay, because I teach law, so I just talk more about the law. If any student secure 60 plus in law, so he don't need to appear in law paper in November 24, then in next May 25, and next in November 25. Okay, so we have 3 attempts: November 24, May 25, and November 25. We have 3 attempts. His exemption is over. Now ICAI will give you a chance. You have an option to carry on exemption. If you want not to carry exemption, then no issue. Otherwise, you have an option to carry on exemption. What exactly the condition is there? There is some condition. Condition is this: if you want to still carry the exemption in law paper, then it is mandatory for you to secure minimum 50 in remaining papers. You have 3 papers in CA Enter in new syllabus. So in accounts, minimum 50 marks instead of 40. Law, obviously you have 60, means it is exempted. So the paper's marks will be counted in this. And the third paper, you must have scored 50 or more. So this is the mark, means your 40 limitation will be removed from there. If you want to carry this exemption after November 25, means after this 3 attempt, then this will be condition. So you have the choice. If you have the confidence that you can gain more than 50 in remaining the 2 papers, then you can carry on. Otherwise, you can just abort your this papers exempted paper, and then you can carry on with the remaining like previously.
But
so
in
exemption,
the exam, if you get 50-50 double.
Sorry,
they'll clear the exam, no? If they
yeah,
get
to clear exams, like for an example, if any student is appearing in May 26, he has done his exemption. He has availed exemptions in next 3 attempts, 24 also, 25 also, and 25 also. Okay, his exemption is finished. Now I shall give a chance that if you want to appear in next exams in May 26, then you have the choice. You want to continue this exemption or not? If you want to continue exemption, then what is the passing criteria for this? Now your passing criteria will be like this. Paper number 1, minimum 50. Paper number 3, it is exempted. It was law, it was exempt. Sorry, paper number 2, it was exempted. And paper number 3, there is a minimum 50. So this is the condition now ICAI has done now. Okay, there is one benefit in this. For an example, any student.
Just to clarify my understanding. So it's like if you, after 3 attempts, if you want to carry forward that exemption, then you can carry forward that exemption. But in that case, the condition will not be minimum 40 marks or minimum aggregate in the other 2 subjects. Even in the other 2 subjects, you will have to score more than 50-50. Okay, clear. Is everyone clear? Everyone on the same page? Yes? Okay, great.
Okay, I think this exemption is clear now. And ICAI is not giving any notification. In the FAQs, ICAI has written that in FAQs about the exemption, we will talk about later. We will give you some a new notification, and then they will explain about that. So any notification
just
that,
one more
please.
Thing, to add, correct me if I'm wrong. As far as I came across all this, announcements and people giving their opinions, it's been said that if there is a subject which you are studying in existing syllabus, that means right now, whatever syllabus is there, and scoring an exemption in that particular subject, and the same subject, if you have continued in the May 24, because there are some subject which has been taken off, right, which are not there a part of a new syllabus. So if in this subject is also there in the new syllabus, in that case it will be exempt. But let's say if there is a subject which is not continued in the new syllabus, then you cannot carry over the exemption because the subject is gone.
I'll just clarify this thing. See, there is one written in the papers of ICAI in FAQs that paper-wise exemption and group-wise exemption. ICAI will continue this. Okay, like suppose if any student has cleared group 1 in old syllabus, like the syllabus which is running now. If any student has cleared this thing, then he don't need to appear in group 1 in new syllabus. He need to appear only in group 2. Okay, this is group-wise exemption. The same thing, paper-wise exemption. Suppose if any student has cleared accounts paper in old syllabus, means is in existing syllabus. So in new syllabus, he don't need to appear in accounts, like this paper will be exempted. So this paper-wise exemption also given, but there is a lot of changes in syllabus. So more clarification, more clarity will come after the notification given by ICAI, because there is a lot of papers in that. So the more notification, like more clarification we will get after the notification by ICAI. So paper-wise exemption and group-wise exemption, both are there. Okay, but something more you want to know, like in final also there is some something like confusions in CA final. So these all things we will get to know after notification of ICAI. We have some more questions.
All right, great. So guys, whatever clarity we have right now, we're answering best, but wherever there's no clarification from institute, maybe we'll have to wait.
Okay, Amar, there's a question from Amar. I'm in CA final. Will we need to undergo any training course in CA final new syllabus? We have done the training before writing CA final under old syllabus. Training means, I think you're talking about ICAI TSS, advanced ICAI TSS. So if you have done already, if you have completed advanced ICAI TSS in old syllabus, then you don't need to appear in CA final new syllabus. Okay, so this will be exempted for you. If you have done already in old syllabus, there is no any requirement for you in new syllabus. Then Soumya Dev Ghosh, there is a question from him. Sir, I have a question. There is any relaxation for us, the working professionals, to complete advanced ICAI TSS course for 30 days, in the sense that we can pursue the same after pursuing CA final, but before applying the membership of institute. Okay, not the working professionals. There is a condition. There is a condition in FAQs. What is the condition? For example, you have completed your article J. Okay, you have completed your article J. 3 years of article J. It is completed. It is done. And your CA inter both group, you have cleared, or you will clear it in coming November 23. Means to say your final exams is about to be in May 24. If you have done with these things and your final exams is in May 24, then you don't need to appear in any trainings like set A, set B. Like, you know, if you are appearing in final exams, then you mandatorily go for self-piece module. You don't need to go for self-piece module. There is one condition in this. What is the condition? You have to just go for set A and set B. Set C and set D. This is exempted for you. Set C and set D is exempted. You don't need to go for that. You have to just appear in set A and set B, and that also after completion of CA final exams. Means when you complete your CA final exams, then you can appear in these papers. Only there is one exemption. There is no any other exemptions. Okay, that's it. Only that's it. What is the frequency of exam in new scheme? Every 3 months or 6 months? There is a frequency of 6 months, November and May, already, which was earlier. Okay. Any more question about new syllabus, new scheme? Any more questions? Anybody is having now?
I guess, Soumyadeep, there is already condition like before you appear for CA final, you have to complete your advanced ICT SS.
Yeah, like, you know, when you before applying for in old syllabus as well, before applying to CA final exams, you have mandatory to go for ICAI TSS. So in the same thing, which was in new syllabus, and in the additional, which was done, which was in set A, self-piece module, set A, set B, set C, and set D. These sets were mandatory to complete before final exams. But for May 24 exams, ICAI has given some exemptions. Like if your attempts in May 24, then don't get disturbed only for May 24. Just attempt your CA final exams in May 24. After completion of your final exams, before applying to membership, just complete set A and set B, and you will get your membership.
So I guess there is no relaxation in terms of advanced IC.
No, I said there is no relaxation.
Because already even in the old syllabus when you have.
Yeah, it was already in old syllabus. Yeah.
So with new syllabus, nothing is changing. It's already there. The only relaxation institute is giving for May 24. Only May 24 is instead of 3 modules in law, you can do 2 modules and third module you can complete later on. That too only in May 24. November 24 onwards, you'll have to complete the 3 self-paced modules of law. So there is no relaxation with advanced ICT SS training.
Okay, there is a question. We are already in CA final and completed articleship training. So for a set C and set D was exempted. Yes, set C and set D is exempted for you. Okay, existing students of old syllabus CA final need to apply any application for update? No. When you go for final exams, okay, when you go for final exams, like, you know, when in May 24, already your syllabus, already your course will be updated to new syllabus. You don't need to change it. If you want to appear now, like in after November 24, after November 23, sorry, November 23, there is no any the existing syllabus is working now in November 23, and there is only parallel exams. Parallel exams means old syllabus, new syllabus. Parallelly is not going to run. In May 24, the syllabus, all the syllabus will be done automatically by ICAI, and you don't need to convert it. Okay. After that, we have the questions. We have some more questions. Let me check the questions. Sir, I cleared CA intergroup 1. Now, if in November 23, if I get exemption in auditing and auditing paper will be exempted in May 24 also, this is clear. And then if I get exemptions in FM, EFF or EISSM, means in November 23, it will be considered as an exemption in May 24. Okay, let me clearly clarify what is the rule regarding exemption. Okay, so I'll just explain here exemptions rules once again. See, rule is this. First rule, fail is mandatory. Fail is mandatory. Second rule, need to appear in all paper. I am talking about all papers of that group. And third is 60 or more in a paper is mandatory. You have to go with these three all things. Okay. First is fail is mandatory. Example, now we have 4 papers in old syllabus. Group 1, example, paper number 1, paper number 2, paper 3, and paper number 4. We have 4 papers. Suppose if any students is appearing in November 23, he is sitting in paper number 1 also, paper 2 also, paper 3 also, and paper 4 also. He is sitting in all the papers. He secured 60 plus in law. Okay, then this paper is exempted in coming exams. This paper is exempted. This will be exempted. So if any paper is exempted, then obviously he don't need to appear in all the papers. He will not go in this paper, and remaining the 3, like in new syllabus, there are 2 papers. There are total 3 papers. So he will appear in paper number 1 and paper number 3, not in paper number 2. Not in paper number 2. So is it doing all the things? Is it completing all the conditions? The answer is no, because he is not appearing in all the papers. He need to appear in all the papers, but in this group, he is not appearing in paper number 2. So if he score in paper number 1, 60 or more, then this will not be exempted. He will not get exemption in this paper. Okay. The second condition we have, suppose, let me erase it. The same thing. I am just taking one more time. Okay, same thing. Suppose he scored paper number 2, 60 plus. Okay, in November 23. In new syllabus, he is appearing in both the groups, group 1 as well and group 2 as well. Okay. So in group 1, he will take advantage of this exemption, but not in group 2. So suppose in group 1, he scored paper number 1, 60 plus. And in group 2, he scored paper number, we take an example, paper number 4, 60 plus. So in group 2, he can avail exemption of this paper, paper number 4, 60 plus, but he cannot take exemptions in this paper, paper number 1. Reason, in group 1, he was not sitting in law paper. So he was not satisfying this condition. But in group 2, he appeared in all the papers. And if he scored 60 plus in group 2, then he definitely will get the exemption in this paper as well. Okay, I think this point is clear. Any doubt in this? Point is clear, or any confusion? I think that
is it okay? Are looking like confused. Want to ask, is there anything you want to clarify? You can unmute yourself and ask. Okay, clear. Okay.
Hi, sir.
Yeah, please.
What I asked is, if in group 2 in November 23, we get exemption in auditing, we will be exempted in auditing also in May 24. That is clear. If at all we get exemption in EISSM or FM and economics, will we get exemption for FM and SM? The paper number 6 there in May 24. That
May 24 in new syllabus, correct?
Yes, that I asked that too.
See, paper-wise exemption is there. Okay, but more clarification we will get to know when ICAI will get the notification. ICAI will publish any notification after that. Okay, so if the paper number 1 and paper number 1 is same in this old syllabus and new syllabus, you will get the exemption. But if there is any difference in these papers, then there is a confusion in the exemption, and this confusion we will get to know only after notification by ICAI. So when ICAI will publish a notification, then we'll get clarification in this. So in FAQs also, ICAI has written this, that in exemption we will give a separate notification about all those things. So let this notification come and then we can clarify it. Okay.
And sir, one more doubt. If I have an exemption in advance accounts now, if I don't have right now, if I have, and if I get exemption in auditing in November 23, and I didn't clear it, it's the example. And in new syllabus in May 24, there is no advanced accounts paper in group 2. So can I carry my auditing exemption to that new syllabus?
Yeah, these things will be clarified by ICAI now. Okay, these are the confusions. Yeah, a lot of confusion in this. So these things will be clarified by ICAI. You know, there is the papers like they have what they have done in accounts. Earlier in old scheme, now the current scheme which is running, there is a paper of accounts in group 1, and in group 2, paper number 4 is paper number 5 is advanced account. Advanced account. Okay, so they have merged these papers and they have only done one paper advanced account in new syllabus group 1. So there is a confusion, lot of confusions, like if any student is appearing and he got paper exemption in accounts or advanced account, any of this paper, can he carry forward this exemption in new syllabus in accounts? So these kind of confusions which we have, which will be clarified only after notification. Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Kirti, for asking this thoughtful question. So, guys, there's some things which
there is one more question which is in comment section. What are the exemptions of self-paced modules, set A, set B, set C, set D, who passed group 2 or group 1? See, there is no any exemption in this. I have given you only the condition. Only condition which was only with CA final was that if you have your papers, if you have your papers in May 24, okay. See, if you have done your articleship, then your papers like set C and set D, you have to any appear in set A and set B. There are some very limited students, they don't need to appear in set C and set D. Let me give you this, insight of this. We have this FAQs, and in this FAQs we have this modules. Okay. See, these are the FAQs for this one thing. Okay. So for an example, when there is a student completed inter exams and commenced practical training as well, then he don't need to go for sets only. He need to go for set A and set B. No need to go for set C and set D. Set C and set D will be exempted for that student. Okay. So if you are in that category, then you can definitely go. And if you have done only group 1 of CA Enter and done your articleship, you will clear your CA Enter group 2 as well, or group 1 as well, means remaining group in November 2023. Then the same thing will be applied for you as well. Okay, means you don't need to appear for set C and set D. Remaining, there is no any exemption. Everybody have to go for set C and set D. Okay, all the set A, set B, set C, and set D. Okay, I think this point is clear. Any confusion? Any confusion? Anyone? Any confusion now?
Ravindra, let's say student is already appearing for CA final, okay, and he has exemption in law in, let's say, November 23. So then the self-paced modules, would they be exempted, or the student has to go through A and B compulsorily? Is there any clarification on this? I think because
no.
CA final, and I
see,
think
first of all, there is no any paper of law in CA final. And these are not papers, these are self-paced module. everybody has to mandatorily go for this.
Okay.
Okay.
So,
So
I think
earlier it was a paper. It was part
Yeah.
of syllabus. Like the marks were counted, but syllabus module marks are not counted.
So Mehul, I guess the answer for you is maybe C and D you don't have to appear for A and B will be compulsory because the format of the exam has changed. It's no more exam where the exemption will be carried forward. But having cleared this A and B self-paced module would be one of the criterias, and it's gonna be compulsory. Okay, great. So Amar has a question, Ravindra, and he's gonna ask you, please, Amar, if you can unmute yourself.
Yeah, please.
Am I audible?
Yeah.
So I have one doubt in exemption part. It's like a basic, like I'm not getting answer in ICAI also. I heard it from my friend. If I'm appearing for both the groups and I'm getting exemption, like for example, I'm getting exemption in, I'm getting 60 marks in 2 papers in first group and 2 papers in second group. And how this exemption will be calculated? So like my colleagues or friends are saying that I need to appear for all the group. Like I understood also I need to appear for all groups. And they are saying that I need to get some 30 or 40 plus. Then only I will get the 60 mark, or else my mark will be reduced to 59 or 58. Like I'm not getting exemption. Is it correct, sir?
Actually, your voice was breaking, but can you repeat once again?
So actually, for example, I'm saying that I'm appearing for both groups.
Okay.
I'm getting exemption, like I'm getting 60 marks in 2 papers in first group and 2 papers in second group.
Okay.
How this exemption will be calculated? Like how they will select the exemption part, like which paper will be exempted for me? I'm asking not in old or new syllabus, I'm asking generally how this exemption will be calculated.
ICAI has all your details. Okay. You're appearing for exam, so you will have options when you fill examination forms. You have the options. ICAI will ask you, do you have an exemption in exam form while filling exam forms? So if you have an exemption, then you can just fill in that. You will get exemption. Otherwise, if you skip that also, ICAI has the details of yours. So in that exam forms, you will get this information in that while filling exams.
Okay, so my question is that, sir, like, will there only 2 papers exemption will be allowed? For example, I'm getting 60 plus in 4 papers. But is there any change in new syllabus? Like I can get exemption in 4 papers, like because I'm getting 60 plus in all the 4 papers.
See, exemption means you don't need to appear in that group. Okay, and the fail is mandatory. So in new syllabus, there is total 3 papers in one group. Okay, 3 papers in group 1 and 3 papers in group 2. Suppose if you get 60 plus in 2 papers of group 1, you will get exemption in both the papers. You will get exemption in both the papers. Okay. If you get exemption in group 2 also in 2 papers, you will get exemption in paper 2 also. So more than 2 papers, more than 2 paper exemption in one group is not possible. The reason you will pass, you won't fail. 60 plus, 60 plus, 60 plus, 3 papers, you will pass it. Okay. So you won't get exemption more than in more than 2 papers in any of the group. It can be possible that in group 1, you got exemption in 2 papers. In group 2, you got exemption in 2 papers because there are 6 papers. Okay. If you secure anyhow 35, 39, 38 in rest of that paper, then obviously that student will get failed again, and he will get exemption. Okay, I think this point is clear, or any doubt?
Yes, sir, I understood.
Mehul, do you have any other opinion? I think you have written some answer in the chat box. What was it about? Can you just share?
Hello.
Yeah. Hi.
Yeah. Like the question Amar was asking, based on what I understood, I just gave my opinion that what I understood about Amar's question was asking if that like he get to know from somewhere that if is scoring some 60 plus in 1 or 2 paper, but in other 2 papers he has to score like decent marks like 30 plus or 40 plus. Like that's what I understood from his question. So I clarified that you can get exemption in any paper.
Actually,
while scoring.
your voice is coming very low to me. Can you just please type your answer, type your question in this chat box? Your voice is coming very low to me. I don't know, like.
So Ravindra is not asking a question. He's just sharing some information.
Okay.
But I was just what I understood from Omar's question, I just replied to him like what's the exemption conditions. Like what I understood from what Amar was asking was that if he gets 60 plus in one or two paper, but he's scoring very low in other papers, so will he get exemption or not? That's what I understood from his question. So I clarified that he can get exemption in paper, while at the same time he's scoring very low marks in other papers, like 20s or 10s, maybe. But
Okay,
still
so I think
one can get.
it's in line with what Ravindra has said. There is nothing like okay, in other papers you have to score certain amount, certain marks. Like if you're failing those papers, any marks, the paper which you have cleared, you will get exemption. And those exams where you have failed, you have to appear for them again, even in the new scheme. Right, Mehul? There's no, I think, marks criteria for other subjects. The subjects you are failing, you have to appear for them again.
Okay, ma'am. Actually, I asked 2 doubts, and I think the second one is cleared because I had the same doubt. Like if I get very low marks in other papers, so I won't get exemption. Maybe I will get 59 or 58 or something. And the first one also I cleared that. I think my first doubt is that earlier I think they have a restriction, ma'am. Like even we can see the mark sheet. Some people will get 60 plus in 3 papers also. But
Yes.
ICAI has given only allowed that exemption for only 2 papers.
Yeah.
So I
that's
just
what
want to
I'm
ask that
saying.
question in new syllabus. But as per sir's answer is concerned, if now everything is group wise, I think. So now as per new syllabus, it is an advantage to us. We will get, if we get exemption in 2 papers in group 1, I allowed 2 exemption in group 1, and in group 2 also I allowed 2 exemption. So I think it will be a bigger advantage to us. So only remaining 2 papers we need to write. Am I right, sir?
Yes, correct.
Thank you, ma'am.
Great, Amar. Thank you so much for asking this question, and thank you so much, Ravindra, for answering it, and Mehul also for adding what he was aware about. All right. So I see we are done answering all the questions which were sent to us till now. Okay, so we'll take one last question and then we'll call the meeting off. If any one of you have any other important question, then please let us know, or else after this last question, we will close the meeting.
Okay,
So,
we got one question here. So what does it suggest? Assume group 1 is cleared. If we write group 2 in November 23, it will be 4 papers. But if we write group 2 in May 24, it will be only 2 papers. Okay, yeah. Only 2 papers. Correct. And even if you get exemption in both the papers, okay, now even if you get the paper exemption in both the papers in November 23, okay, then you don't need to appear in that group 2 also in new syllabus. That paper will be exempted. You will automatically get passed.
wow, nice. So, Kirti, don't think about 24, okay? 23, we have to pass, we have to qualify. And
I think these are just
Yes.
questions. These are just questions. They are not planning for this.
Yes.
Yeah.
guys, everyone who's present over here, my honest suggestion, we have this discussion and FAQ session just to help you get some clarity. The idea is not to decide whether to give the exam in November 23 or May 24. You have November 23 in hand, focus on that and make the most out of it. If that does not happen and for some reason, then May 24. So the goal and the target is not deciding whether to go for May 23 or November 23 or May 24. The goal is November 23, no matter what. All right. So keep that in mind. In November, May 24 ka naubat aana hi nahi chahiye. That should be your focus.
Yeah, try to clear it in this attempt only. Reason being, if you postponing it to May 24, then there are some changes in syllabus. So you will have to appear in that. You will have to just read those extra syllabus as well. So don't plan for May 24. Just do it as soon as possible. Clear in it.
All right. So here we are done with the session, and okay, so thank you very much, Ravindra, for answering all the questions so patiently with a smile on your face. Guys, can we please give him a big round of applause for sharing his insights with us, for being here today morning. Yes, amazing.
Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much for this the comments, and thank you so much for asking questions. Thank you so much, IUC, for inviting in this session to me. And I just loved a lot. replying to you all guys and giving you answers about and clarifying your doubts.
Amazing. Also, guys, once again, I'll share with you. Ravindra is a founder and YouTuber at Wisdom CA. So if you guys want to keep updated about whatever changes ICAI is coming up with, what exam notification, all that thing, I think he's a great, wonderful YouTube channel. I personally follow him, and he has more than 165,000, okay, 169,000 around subscribers. So yeah, you guys can also follow him for further updates, and if any new notification ICAI is gonna come up with. And yes, we would love to have you once again, Ravindra. So if in future there's some other changes coming up, I'm hoping to see you again. And everybody, thank you so much for joining today's session. So yes, as I promised you all in the last mastermind session that we will have a session about new course syllabus, new scheme. So here we are done with it. And next, one more thing which I'm working for you all is to, for EPS community members, is to get you mentors, right, from the community who has cleared the exams which you're trying to appear. I'm still working upon it, and I'm still looking forward to your suggestions. And my humble request to everyone would be, if you guys are done with, let's say, inter final, and you guys can handhold the students who are studying for foundation and inter, that would be great. So I want this to be not just like taking, but a fair give and take. So very soon we are going to roll out a form to become mentors. Everybody, I would request you to fill those forms, become mentor to the students who need your help, who need your guidance. And similarly, we'll also get you mentors who are ahead of you, who can handhold you. It's gonna be give and take. If you want to mentor, be a mentor, and let's come from a space where we just keep on contributing and giving back to every single person who needs us within the community. Okay, as I always say, we are in this together. And we also have amazing people like Ravindra supporting us. So feel free to reach out to me, and I'm gonna be there to answer, to help you all. I'll see you next weekend with an amazing another mastermind session. All right. So shall we call it off? Yes. Shall we close the meeting? Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, everyone. Brilliant.
Okay. Thank you so much, guys, for this wonderful session and asking your questions.